So we are still on the topic of objects. No? Mm. Mm. So today we'll talk about the Satipatthana objects. Mm. Mm. So in the Satipatthana Sutta, Buddha instructed yogis to contemplate its four Satipatthana objects. So Kaya, the body, Vedana, feelings, Chitta, consciousness, and Dhamma. Dhamma means I usually translate as nature, or you can even say uh, natural phenomena. Okay? Mm. So essentially, these four objects they are just nama rupa, mental physical nature. Okay? Mhm. So the first one is kaya, the body. Okay? So kaya is the object that is connected with the gross physical body. Okay? Mm. Mm. So you can say that it is the collection, collection of rupa, collection of physical nature. Okay? So the word kaya in Pali has the meaning of group or collection. So here we can think of it as collection of this physical nature or rupa. Okay? And for the purpose of our practice, the way we are practicing here, you can think of it as the collection of the four elements, the four primary material elements of element, the wind, fire, and water element. Yeah. Although when the Buddha taught Kāyānupassanā, contemplation of the body in the Satipatthana Sutta, he also talked about the contemplation of the parts of the body, the loathsomeness of the different parts of the body, head, hair, body hair, nail, teeth, skin, and so on. And as well as the contemplation of different kinds of corpses. Okay? So, this do contemplation on the parts of the body and on the corpses, they involve to some degree uh, concepts. Okay, so but in our practice, the way that we practice here, we don't take these two as an object. Okay, so we don't need to consider them. So, but we do take the other objects under Kāyānupassanā. Like we take anapana, breath, in out breath. So anapana, according to the late Venerable Mahasi Sayadaw, so when you do anapana, if you take anapana as a samatha object, okay, then you have to focus on that tip of the nostril. So that one point at the tip of the nostril. You focus there so that you can develop deep concentration. So, but if you take anapana as a vipassana object, according to the Sayadaw, you can actually contemplate the breath anywhere in the body, so long as it is connected with the in and out breath. So, which is what we are doing here with when we contemplate the rising, falling. Okay? So, it's the movement connected with the in out breath. Okay, so you can uh, note it wherever it appears, whether it can be on the abdomen or on the chest or on the diaphragm, wherever this movement occurs that is connected with the in out breath. Okay? Mm. So we do contemplate anapana. Okay? And also we also do contemplate the iriyapata, the postures of the body. Okay? So um, we do contemplate all the four postures. Sitting, so when you're not sitting, that's contemplating the sitting posture. During walking meditation, of course, the walking posture, as well as the standing posture. At the end of the walking, you're standing there, you're not standing. Okay. At night, when you're resting, lying down on the bed, you note the lying posture. Okay. So, so the four postures. Mm, Also, all the minor posture in between these four major posture, so-called minor posture. Even when you turn your head, that's called minor posture. Okay. So the way you arrange your body, other than the four major posture. Okay. Mm. Then the Sampajana Pabba, the section on clear comprehension, uh, talk about contemplation of various activities, right, that you usually perform every day. So that we practice when we do meditation on the daily activities. Okay? And then finally, the section on Dhatu Manasikara, paying attention to the four elements. Okay? Mm. So, mm, now actually, all these objects, they all go back to the four elements. Okay? So whether anapana, rising, falling, whether you contemplate the postures of the body, or whether you contemplate the daily activities, and it all goes back to the four elements. So when you're not rising, falling, it's the wind element primarily, right? But there are also other elements may be involved, like softness, hardness, mm, heat and cold, uh, postures also. Right? When you're not sitting, or standing, walking, and so on. So it involves the four elements. Primarily is the wind element. Okay? Mm. So, and daily activities, of course, all the four elements are involved. Okay? So all this contemplation goes back to the four elements. Okay? So therefore, for the purpose of our practice, the way we do our practice here, we can understand uh, Kaya as the collection of the four material elements, which can be found in various parts of the body. So when we contemplate this collection of the material elements, we are doing Kāyānupassanā. Mhm. Yeah, even though it says Kāyānupassanā, contemplation of the body, but it is not necessary uh, to contemplate the entire body all at once. Because usually we contemplate only uh, a small part of the body. Because even in a single part of the body, uh, you can find this collection of the four elements. Mm. Mm. So take for example, we use anapana, and let's say you contemplate anapana at the tip of the nostril. So if you pay attention there, even at that tiny little point in the body, you can discern the elements. Okay? So you pay attention when you breathe in, for example, you may feel a sensation of coolness. When you breathe out, you may feel the sensation of warmness. Okay? So that coolness and the warmness. This is the fire element. Okay? Or you may feel the sensation of roughness or smoothness as the breath goes in and out. And that is the earth element. Okay? Or you may feel the sensation of slight pressure at the tip of the nostril. That is the wind element. Okay? So even in that one tiny little point in the body, there is this collection of the elements. Okay? So, so we don't have to contemplate the entire body, but just even a single part of the body. In fact, you direct your attention to any part of the body. uh, you watch carefully enough, if your mind is clear enough, sharp enough, you would be able to discern these elements present. Okay? So, in fact, all the objects that we note uh, involve this kaya, this collection of the elements. So, rising, falling. So rising, falling mostly is the wind element. Okay? But sometimes yogis also may feel that the softness or hardness. Uh, so that is the earth element. Right? And sometimes you feel warm or cool. That is the fire element. Mm. So when you're not sitting, sitting also primarily is the wind element. Touching the various elements involved. Okay? So and the walking meditation, the footsteps also, lifting, pushing, placing. These are also elements here. And when you're not during the daily activities, all the activities, physical activities that you're carrying out, you observe carefully. There are elements involved. Okay? Mm. So, so these four elements, they are found in every single part of the body. Okay? So you direct your mind to every single part of the body. If your mind is clear enough, sharp enough, you would be able to discern the presence of the elements. Mm. And you contemplate that, that is also called Kāyānupassanā. So not necessary you have to contemplate the whole body, then only is considered Kāyānupassanā. Okay, so the four elements. So when we study them in theory, so we study their names. Earth element, water, wind, fire element. And we also study the description of their nature, the characteristic, the function, the manifestation, the proximate cause. So, but these are just names and descriptive words, which means they are actually just concepts, uh, not real. Even though they are concepts that point to or refer to uh, things that are real. Okay. Mm. But uh, because they are just words, so they are actually just concepts, not real. So in typical meditative experience, okay, so uh, we discern the elements. Okay? We note the elements not through their names. Okay? So in fact, we don't even need to know the name of these elements. Okay? So if you are noticing the nature of some elements, you don't even need to know what element exactly this is. Okay? So, mm, so you don't discern them by name by means of their names, but you discern them by means of their characteristic or nature. So called sabhava lakkhana. Okay? So the natural characteristic, okay? The natural physical qualities that can be directly perceived by the mind. So, for example, the nature of heat. So, we experience the nature of heat. That is the nature of the fire element. So, whenever you experience and note the nature of heat, uh, so whether or not uh, you know this is the fire element, okay, that's irrelevant. Okay? So whether you know the name of the element or not, uh, whether you know this is the fire element or not, by the very fact that you are noting the nature of heat, you are already noting the fire element. Mm, mm. And also, whether you can describe the experience or not, uh, whether you can describe, oh, this is heat, uh, that is also irrelevant. Okay? So as long as you are experiencing and noting uh, clearly this quality of heat, you are indeed experiencing and noting the nature of the fire element, nature of heat. Okay? Yeah. So the knowledge of the name of the elements is irrelevant to the experience, to the work of noting. So too, and the knowledge how to describe it. Okay? Mm. So, because whether you can describe it or not, whether you can name it or not, as long as you're experiencing it, noting it clearly, you're already noting it. Mm. Of course, uh, the when it comes to interview time, so then the ability to describe what you experience is very helpful in order to convey your experience clearly to the teacher so that the teacher have a clear idea of the state of your practice. Okay? Yeah, so yogis have to try to uh, describe their experience as clearly as they can. Okay? Mm. So, uh, what happens if you really cannot describe the experience? Yeah, sometimes the experience, the sensation can be very subtle that uh, you cannot experience it clearly, but you know that the mind is noting something. There's some nature there. Okay, so in this case, you just report that you note that there's some sensation there, but it's not clear exactly what it is. Okay? Mm. Or sometimes when it's clear, but you really do not know how to describe. There are some people, they are just not good at using words. Uh, Some people, they are very good at using words. They are very expressive with words. Some people, they are not. Okay? So if you really do not know how to describe, then you may resort to using simile, for example. Uh, mm. For example, you can describe, oh, I feel the sensation like the sensation you get when you, let's say, you rub tiger balm on the skin, that kind of sensation. So you can use simile to describe your experience. Mm. Okay, so let's talk about the earth element. Mm. Yeah, so in practical experience, practical meditative experience, so this earth element is experienced very simply as the nature of hardness. Okay, so nature of hardness. So now, because what is hard is solid. So sometimes earth element is also called the element of solidity. Okay? Yeah. So, so material objects uh, can have a solid form because of the earth element. Mm. So, for example, you can see the table, the chair, they all have solid form. This building, solid form, because of earth element. Yes. No. So it is called the earth element, and because of its earth-like quality. It's not that it's literally earth, but because it has quality similar to earth, so that's why we call it the earth element. So the most obvious quality of earth. So when you step on the earth, so what do you feel? You feel solid, you feel the hardness. So that is uh, taken as the uh, earth element, okay? In the sense that it's earth-like. Okay? So in experience, earth element is actually this quality or nature of hardness. Okay? So this quality of hardness itself is the earth element. Okay? So when asked what is the earth element, so you can say earth element is the nature of hardness. So earth element is the nature of hardness. Okay. Yeah. But this nature or this quality of hardness is relative. Okay. So so some material objects are harder than others. Okay. So take for example, if you take between a piece of granite, okay, and a piece of wood. Okay? So both are also hard, right? But compare the wood to the piece of granite. Which one is harder? So the granite is harder. Okay? So the wood is not as hard. Okay? So compare when the wood compared to a piece of granite, it is considered soft. Okay? So therefore, this quality of hardness is relative. Okay? So hardness and softness. Okay? So both are also the quality of earth element. Okay? Mm. 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 So you compare a piece of wood, let's say, to a piece of paper. So in paper also there's earth element. So actually, the four elements they can be found in all material things everywhere. Mm. So in this chair, in this microphone, in our body, uh, in the air around us, all elements can be found. Okay? All the four elements can be found in all material things. Okay? So according to Lady Seado, even in a beam of light, has the four elements. Okay? So, mm, yeah. So between the piece of wood and a piece of paper, uh, so which one is harder? The wood is harder. The paper is got soft when compared to the piece of wood. Okay? When you compare the paper to the air around us, then the air around us is called soft. Paper relative to the air around us is considered hard. So hardness and softness. Okay? Mm. So, so it depends on the strength of the earth element. Okay? So when it's very strong, when the earth element is very strong, then you feel it as hardness. When it's weaker, you feel it as softness. Okay? Mm. So even though in the air around us there are earth element, but we don't feel the hardness. Why? Because it's very weak. Okay? So, so you feel it more like softness, like when the wind blows, you feel the softness of the wind. The touch sensation is soft. Okay? So that is also earth element. Okay? Mm. Mm. So both hardness and softness, they are the quality of the earth element. Okay? Mm. So it depends on how strong or how weak is the earth element. So sometimes the elements can be so weak that when the yogi try to note it, they cannot tell what sensation it is. Okay? So in this case, you need to observe more carefully. We focus mindfulness in more effort. Okay? So you put in more effort. uh, when the mindfulness develop further, and the mind gets clearer, you may be able to discern even the more subtle uh, elements. Okay? So the qualities, the nature of the elements are not always readily discernible by the mind. Okay? So sometimes, often you have to make effort to discern them as clearly as you can. Mm. So this quality, hardness, softness, they're very simple qualities, right? So even a small child can understand. Mm. Don't even need to think about it. Right? Mm, so you just need to pay attention. So whenever a body touch some parts, you bring your attention to the experience of touching. So the moment the mind is in contact with the experience, if there's a sensation, a hardness, a softness there, immediately the mind can pick it up. Okay? It's very simple nature. So you just need to pay attention. Mm. So, and this quality of hardness, softness, uh, it arise many times in a day uh, during your retreat here. Okay? So like when you're doing sitting meditation, you can feel the softness, for example, softness of the cushion. So, but as you keep sitting, as the sitting meditation progresses, you may notice that the longer you sit, the softness slowly disappear, then is replaced by other qualities. uh, so it changes from softness, gradually change to hardness, harder and harder and harder. Okay? So, uh, so rising, falling also. Often yogis may feel like softness. Uh, so if you control, sometimes yogi unconsciously control, and then they may feel quality of hardness. Okay? Mm. So walking meditation also, especially when the foot is uh, pressed on the ground, so you may feel the quality of hardness. Okay? Sometimes even softness. Mm. So and daily activities also. Yeah, the hand touching various things, touching the door, touching the spoon, the fork, and so on. Okay? So you may feel the quality of hardness and softness in the touching. Okay? When you're eating also, the food that you eat, you may feel the texture, softness, hardness. So the piece of meat, very well cooked, you may feel soft. Okay? Uh, if you, let's say, bite into a piece of bone and hardness, or you bite into nuts, hardness. Okay? So you can experience quality of hardness and softness throughout the day. Okay? So each time when you're noting this quality of hardness or softness, so you're noting the nature of the earth element. Mm, mm. Actually, there's another nature of the earth element. That is the nature or quality of roughness. Okay? So roughness is also nature of the earth element. Okay? And again, this nature, this quality is relative. Okay? So not just roughness, but roughness and smoothness. Okay? So both are also nature of the earth element. Okay? Mm. And again, this is very simple qualities that even a small child can understand. Okay? So, uh, so if it appear in your experience, if you are paying attention, you will know it immediately. This is roughness or this is smoothness. You don't even need to think about it. Okay? Mm. So, so in your practice, for example, during walking, and when the foot touches the ground, you can feel uh, the texture of the ground. Sometimes it's rough, depending on where you walk. And sometimes it's rough. Certain places are smooth. So this nature, roughness, smoothness is the earth element. Okay? You touch various objects also. It's a surface, rough or smooth. Right? So when the air brushes, uh, like the wind, the fan is blowing, you feel very rough. So that is also the nature of the earth element. Okay? When you eat food also, the texture, like for example, uh, tofu, sometimes smooth. You eat a piece of meat, it's rough. uh, So that is the nature of the earth element. So if you note this nature of roughness and smoothness, again you are noting the nature of earth element. So the nature of earth element is hardness, softness, roughness, smoothness. Okay. Now, it is important to note here that even though you know this is the nature of earth element, but when you practice, uh, when you're meditating, don't go searching for this nature. Don't go searching, oh, where is the hardness, where is the softness, where is the roughness, the smoothness. Okay? Don't go searching for them. Okay? Just go about your meditation as usual, in the sitting meditation, walking meditation, and meditation and daily activities. Okay? So as you are carrying out this meditation activities, and the body comes into contact with various objects. Okay? And if this, at that time, if this quality of hardness or softness or roughness or smoothness, if this quality at that time happen to be clear in that moment of experience, then you take note of it. Okay? So, but if they are not there, then don't go searching for them. Okay? Just take note of only of whatever nature happened to appear clearly in the moment. Okay? So don't go searching where is the hardness, the softness, and so on. Okay? Note only what is present clearly. What is not present, don't worry about it. Okay? Mm. Okay, we stop here today.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namaskar.